Obviously this is a really tough video to make. I never thought I'd be here. I thought I'd be making videos in this moist, sweat-drenched box that smells like a dead vagina for the rest of my life. I mean, that's probably only gonna be another 12 years considering I grew up drinking petrol and sleeping outside in the bushes. But still, I never thought it would come to this. I had just gotten used to the fact that, you know, like most YouTubers, I'd be found dead in my room devoured by my neighbor's cats. But no, it's time to announce it. It's over. I'm leaving YouTube and burning the scarf in the biggest fucking dustbin I can find. Now I know a lot of you are probably gonna be asking, why now, Irish guy? Why not when you made the fucking WAG video? I know a lot of you won't actually give a shit. And this video is only serving as a timely reminder that you should be doing something a lot more productive with your day. You know, like cleaning that gunk from underneath your toenails, or having a massive dump. But no, it's true. I'm leaving HITC. It's a shame. I remember when I was a kid, my mother used to say, "Hey Irish guy, when you grow up you can aspire to be like that fat guy off Soccer AM, or if you really put your mind to it, that ginger one off Football Daily." But I guess some pipe dreams are just meant to be that. Just pipe dreams. For reasons that I can't get into. But let's just say it involves me, my scarf, and a morning after pill. I'm leaving the channel. It's a tough one, but I'm gonna leave you in the safe hands of that other one, whose name you don't know. What grade A acting? Just kidding. What is my life? That was April Fool's Day. Yeah. And no, I'm not leaving. Who am I kidding? I'll still be stuck in this goddamn Syrian bunker when I'm f***ing 65, chatting shit about Paul McShane's great grandkids, who I already know are gonna be worse than f***ing syphilis. And believe me, I know. What's been going on in the world of football the last week? I will tell you absolutely nothing. But Raheem Sterling scored a hat-trick, Danny Rose got racially abused, and us Irish fans spent our Tuesday evenings by just chucking tennis balls at Darren Randolph's head. But yeah, for the Scottish fans out there, you probably want me to touch on the Celtic Rangers game. Scott Brown was once again a massive gowl. Rangers players lost their composure completely. Oh, and this fella turned up to the game expecting not to get stabbed. I would make a mockery of this man, but I feel like I'd be mocking the dead, cause there's no way you can wear that to an Old Firm game and survive a fatal stabbing. Like, even that guy knows that was a bad idea, and he's got a f***ing pineapple on his head. But anyway, let's crack on. What has happened at the weekend? Let's start with the cup final, but I mean, was it really a cup final? It was the Checkatrade Trophy. I don't think anyone really wants to win that. I mean, it's like being crowned winner of the nastiest STD competition. I mean, sure, it's silverware, but it's just a bit embarrassing to win. I mean, look, I get the fact Sunderland haven't won a trophy in donkey's years, but are you really gonna get hyped for something that looks like it came out of a f***ing cereal box? They've literally dropped down 2 leagues, so they might have a chance of sniffing out some piece of silverware in a competition for lower league clubs and, God help us all, the Premier League's underage teams. The fact that you are playing against your fiercest rivals under 23 side in the quarter-finals, did that not just ram home the shame a little bit more? For Christ's sake, that's like dumping your ex-wife to go out with her 17-year-old daughter. Although, come to think of it, that would also most likely be your daughter. Then again, this is Sunderland we're talking about. Anyway, Portsmouth won on penalties after Lee Cattermole botched his penalty. Yes, that man does still exist, and yes, he still wears shorts up to his f***ing chin. Remember Wagner or Wagner? I don't really give a shit. Basically your man off the X Factor all those years ago who sang like a walrus giving birth and looks like he spent every minute since sleeping in the bins outside Louis Walsh's house. Well, he had a good luck message for the Sunderland fans.
Enjoy your cheesy chips on Wembley Way, you bunch of inbreds. The last time I saw you Sunderland fans, you were crying on Netflix.
Now, I know I'm not one to talk, but that man has some bottle to slag off an entire region on the fucking internet, when he himself looks like he hasn't had a wash since 1967. But Newcastle fans were obviously delighted.
Wagner is a Geordie. Ha 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 ha. Best thing ever. Bumberland getting mugged off by Wagner. Wagner. Wagner is a legend.
You might want to hold off on that.
Down, down, Newcastle United's going down, down. Newcastle United's going down, down. Newcastle United's going down.
So it looks like Wagner is just a bit of a cunt. But deciding to drop down 2 leagues to challenge for a trophy because you haven't won anything in a while, it's like a lad who goes about 6 weeks without the touch of a good woman. So instead of just getting out there and talking to a girl your own age, he instead just chooses to stick his dick in a fucking postbox. Lads, it is the Checkatrade Trophy. It's embarrassing to even be associated with. There was even a petition launched by the fans of Sunderland for the winners of this competition to get a place in the goddamn Europa League. Am I seeing this right? Europa League? Lads, you couldn't even cope with a place in the goddamn championship. You were losing at home to Burton Albion. What the f*** do you think would happen if you entered Europe? It's a bit like sticking your hand in a fucking blender or clicking subscribe on Football Daily. It's not going to end well for you. Starting a petition for the winner of the goddamn Checkatrade Trophy to qualify for Europe is like trying to make the winner of two pissed up 50-year-olds fighting out the back of KFC. It should be then given entry to f***ing Cambridge University. Makes no sense. I'm sorry lads, but any team with Lyndon Gooch, Will Grigg and Lee Catmull in it, that should just be kept as far away from European competition as humanly possible. Anyway, Ole Gunnar Solksjaer was appointed last week. You kind of had to give him the job, didn't you? He's won nearly every game, he's managed to get past PSG, but I don't know, I think this might be the moment when it all starts to unravel. Like I've been saying all along, Roberto Di Matteo was a great interim manager at Chelsea. The man took a team of unhappy players, clearly not on board with being bossed around by a lad who had made a living out of collecting the goddamn cones in training, to Champions League and FA Cup glory. And then he was given the job and was fired within the first 3 months of the season. Like when you're an interim, you can ride a certain level of goodwill. For Christ's sake, half these players were probably whacking themselves senseless in the goddamn showers purely because Mourinho wasn't their manager anymore. Jesus, I mean, they would have probably responded well to a mop and a trench coat as long as it wasn't Mourinho. I mean, it's true, players can certainly run a dressing room. For Christ's sake, Avram Grant was a John Terry penalty away from winning the goddamn Champions League. Avram Grant, the lad who looks like he belongs in one of the Star Wars reboots. The lad who finished bottom of the league twice and has all the personality of a dried up twig. Now, I'm not saying Solskjaer is Grant. Far from it. I'm not even saying Solskjaer was a bad choice. I'm just saying, be skeptical. Oh, Mauricio Pochettino, how has this happened? 2 months ago, this man was involved in a title fight with Tottenham and was being headhunted by both Real Madrid and Man United. Now, both of those vacancies have been filled, and instead that man is now staring down the barrel of the goddamn Europa League. You know, the same competition that Will Grigg could have been in. But Spurs have collapsed since the new year, and Christ above, they do not even have a dodgy batch of lasagna to blame this time out. As for Liverpool, how lucky are they? Pep Guardiola must feel like smashing his dome off the bathroom sink. The amount of times the Reds just find a way to get out of jail in the end. For example, if both Jordan Pickford and Hugo Lloris had just kept their shits together, Man City would currently be 4 points clear with a game in hand. That is pretty much title over. But no, Pep Guardiola must now feel like drowning Hugo Lloris in a fucking bath. Seriously, Lloris is on the way down. This is a world champion. And the amount of mistakes he is making these days. For Christ's sake, he even had the mother of all howlers in a World Cup final that everyone just seems to conveniently forget. Like, I don't know what's happened to him. Maybe he's on the piss every other night. But something has really thrown that man off the boil. As for City, they travelled to Fulham and ran circles around a Fulham defence that looked about as composed as Michael J. Fox at a goddamn ice rink. Fulham's defence is almost as tragic as the fact that they're still selling Claudio Ranieri bobbleheads. Actually, that's not so much tragic as it is just creepy. The man is gone, stop flogging his merch. But do Fulham want to go down? Because my god, how often did they give the ball back to City? They could barely get a foot on it, and it was the most comfortable 2-0 win Pep Guardiola's probably ever had. What did Scott Parker say to the lads at full time? Like, what can you say? I mean, yes, City are a great team, but Jesus Christ, show a bit of fight if you want to stay in this league, lads. Because at the moment, you're probably going to finish bottom of it. Their defending is absolutely pathetic. They get shoved off the ball way too easy. They don't seem to want it, lads. This is the Premier League. Chelsea snuck past Cardiff 2-1 with 2 late, undeserved goals. That left Neil Warnock probably teetering on the edge of a nervous breakdown. As for Chelsea, Maurizio Sarri had to put up with his travelling fans basically screaming for his head for the entire game. Now, I'm not going to say that he needs to be sacked or anything, but he is not helping himself. Not only did he leave Hudson-Odoi on the bench yet again, he's also said that he only watched about 20 minutes of his England debut and that he didn't even play that well. This is a kid that's actively trying to leave your club. If you want to convince Hudson-Odoi to stick around, you might want to talk him up, big up his future, tell him he's a good player. Not say you couldn't even be bothered to watch him play. Like, what's that gonna do for his morale? I'd imagine Celtic fans are wondering whether Brendan Rodgers was bored out of his tree this weekend. It could have been Celtic versus Rangers, instead it was Leicester versus Bournemouth. A fixture that a decade ago wouldn't have looked place out of League One. Still though, this was a third win in a row. Wes Morgan and Jamie Vardy seeing off the cherries. I doubt he was too fussed. Oh yeah, West Ham lost at home to Everton in the battle for 7th. Then again, lads, who really cares about finishing 7th? Both these clubs have talked about getting into the Champions League. So the fact that they're now squabbling over 7th at the start of April, I mean, Kurt Zuma and Bernard scored the goals, but special mention to Marko Arnautovic, who ever since January has been playing like boiled cat piss. Remember when West Ham were fighting tooth and nail to prevent that man going to China? Well, if they knew they were going to get this Arnautovic, the one who's been sulking every minute of every day since January, they'd have probably bought him a one-way ticket. Oh, by the way, I'll tell you who are down actually, I forgot about them. Huddersfield Town, losing 2-0 to Crystal Palace and have now become only the second ever Premier League team to get relegated in March. It takes a special type of awful to go down this quickly. And no, I'm not talking about Paris Hilton after 3 raspberry schnapps. Derby County were the only other team relegated in March, and they were an absolute pear-shaped shambles. For Christ's sake, they were getting pummeled on a weekly basis 5 or 6-0. But where did they go around for Huddersfield? I mean, it's quite easy. They cannot score goals. They took 11 games to win a game, and even Sam Allardyce said he couldn't save them. So when he's saying that, you know you were absolutely beyond Anyway, that's the end of the video, lads. Yeah, it was just a quick roundup. I bet some people think I quit the channel. Oh shit, I hope my boss hasn't cancelled my contract. He doesn't usually watch past the first 20 seconds of my videos. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, lads, don't forget to give a like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I'll talk to you in a while.